A tale of love, revenge, and resurrection unfolds in the heart of a dystopian city, shadows reigning and hope flickering like a dying flame. The story begins with a haunting childhood memory of Eric Draven, a young boy, stands frozen in fear as he watches a horse trapped in a fence. The animal's pained whinny echoes in his ears, its body straining against the ropes that bind it, and the boy is powerless to intervene. He rushes forward, attempting to free the horse from its confines, but in his futile effort, young Eric injures himself, a deep cut on his hand that sears into his flesh. The horse's final cry, a chilling mix of agony and surrender, stays with him, becoming a wound that festers in his soul for years to come. On the other side of town, a young woman named Shelly, vibrant and full of life, finds herself in a crisis when her close friend Zaddy calls her with a dire warning. Zaddy, frantic and breathless, has uncovered something dangerous, something that threatens both of their lives. Over the phone, Zaddy's voice trembles as she urges Shelly to leave town immediately. "They're coming for us," Zaddy whispers, terror lacing her words. "We have to run, now." While still on the call, Zaddy arrives home. Her anxiety heightens as she realizes she's being watched. In a moment of chilling horror, Zaddy is captured by Marion, a ruthless and cunning henchwoman working for Vincent Roeg, a crime lord who has carved out his empire through violence, intimidation, and unspeakable rituals. Marion takes pleasure in her task. The true danger lies with Vincent, a man steeped in dark magic and even darker intentions. Vincent forces Zaddy into submission. He asks about Shelly's whereabouts, but Zaddy doesn't know. In a fit of rage, Vincent whispers ancient demonic incantations into her ear, corrupting her mind and soul. Zaddy finds herself paralyzed by Vincent's power, her will crumbling under the weight of his dark magic. She kills herself by plunging a knife into her neck multiple times, her life extinguished in an instant. Vincent mixes his blood with Zaddy's, and his supernatural abilities grow even stronger. The blood pact, sealed with ancient rites, feeds Vincent's dark energy. Meanwhile, Shelly, unaware of her friend's tragic fate, is making her way to meet Zaddy when fate throws her off course. She senses she is being followed, so she speeds up, her heart racing, but in a twist of misfortune, she stumbles accidentally into two policemen. This chance encounter leads to her arrest, an unfortunate mishap where drugs, accidentally dropped from her bag, are found in her possession. Shelly's bad luck spirals, but her arrest turns out to be a twist of destiny. While in jail, she crosses paths with Eric, who was also arrested for selling and possessing drugs. Despite their grim circumstances, a connection sparks between them, igniting a flame of hope in the darkness. Slowly, they grow closer, finding solace in each other's company. Their bond deepens into love, a love that makes Eric feel alive in ways he had long forgotten. They share stories of their past, their dreams, and their fears, forging a connection that transcends the walls that confine them. However, their newfound happiness is short-lived. Vincent's men, ever watchful, soon track Shelly down to the jail. Realizing the imminent danger, Shelly asks Eric to help her escape. He knows secret pathways within the jail and devises a plan. With adrenaline coursing through their veins, he helps her remove their tags and escape into the forest. Then catching a ride, they reach the city and then to Shelly's home. One day, Shelly and Eric find themselves at a rooftop party, hoping to lose themselves in the crowd and shake off the fear that constantly follows them. For a fleeting moment, they find joy, laughing, dancing, and forgetting the darkness that surrounds their lives. But their brief reprieve is shattered when Shelly's friend Dom arrives unexpectedly with grim news that Zaddy has been found dead. Dom warns Shelly that she's next and urges her to flee immediately, a sense of urgency underlying his words. Panicked, Shelly and Eric run, seeking refuge in an old warehouse on the outskirts of town, but Vincent's men are already there, lying in wait. The couple is ambushed, and Vincent's henchmen mercilessly kill them by suffocating them in plastic wrap, depriving them of their last breaths. As death claims Eric, he finds himself submerged in black, otherworldly water. Shelly, too, is in the depths, drowning. Eric tries to reach her, but his efforts are in vain. He floats to the surface and discovers he is in a mystical realm, a purgatory where the boundaries between life and death blur. In this realm, Eric encounters Kronos, an ancient being who governs the balance of life and death. Kronos, with his ethereal presence, reveals the dark truth that Vincent Roeg has made a deal with the devil. In exchange for eternal life, Vincent sends innocent souls to the hell, feeding a cycle of death and despair. To restore the natural balance, Vincent must be killed. killed. He offers Eric a choice that he can avenge Shelly's death by taking Vincent's life, and in doing so, both he and Shelly will be brought back to the land of the living. The crow, the mystical creature that guides lost souls, will serve as Eric's guide between the realms. Eric's heart swells with determination, driven by the love he feels for Shelly and the burning desire to make Vincent pay for his crimes. Eric agrees, sealing his fate with a sense of purpose. He is resurrected by the crow, his body now imbued with supernatural strength, agility, and the ability to heal from almost any wound. Guided by the crow, Eric embarks on a quest for revenge, each step fueled by the memory of Shelly and the pain of their shared loss. He goes to his friend's house and retrieves a gun. Eric starts hunting Vincent's men, each encounter bringing him closer to his ultimate goal. As he tracks down those who have wronged him, he meets a woman who works for Vincent. In a moment of revelation, she reveals that she is Shelly's mother, and in her quest for fame and power, she sold her daughter to the dark. Eric leaves and soon spots Vincent along with his assistant, sitting in car. Fueled by fury, Eric attacks them in their vehicle but fails to kill them. Vincent throws him out of the window, and a truck crushes his legs, but he recovers, his supernatural abilities mending the damage swiftly. Later, Vincent pays a visit to Shelly's mother and accuses her of revealing Vincent's whereabouts. In a fit of anger, he whispers a demonic incantation into her ear, compelling her to take her own life by falling from the roof of her building. Eric, now more determined than ever, tracks down Shelly's friend Dom, the same guy who warned them at the rooftop party. He confronts Dom, demanding to know why Vincent is after Shelly. Dom reveals that the footage on Shelly's phone holds the key, the evidence that could expose Vincent's dark deeds and seal his fate. Eric rushes to Shelly's house and finds her phone. In the footage, he sees Shelly manipulated under Vincent's spell, forced to commit heinous acts of violence and merciless killing, all caught on camera. The revelation shakes Eric to his core, his love for Shelly mingling with the despair of knowing she was used as a pawn for killing people. Determined to bring justice, he takes Shelly's phone to his friend's house, but there Vincent's men strike again. In a vicious attack, they shoot Eric's friend. Eric fights back. In the chaos, Vincent's men overpower Eric once more, shooting him and plunging him back into the afterlife. He finds himself again drowning in the black water, despair pulling him under. In the shadowy realm, Kronos appears once more. He explains that Eric's doubts for his love had weakened his connection to Shelly, which is why he could not heal from his injuries and got killed. Now, as he hasn't fulfilled the task given, Shelly can't return to life. Only he can. Desperate to right his wrongs, Eric makes a final, desperate bargain with Kronos. He offers his own life in exchange for Shelly's, a sacrifice that Kronos accepts. Kronos sees at sky and a lot of crows starts flying around him. Then Kronos makes a cut and mixes his black blood with Eric's, while reciting a mantra. Eric's eyes glows like that of a crow. His powers got strengthened and his resolve hardened by his love for Shelly and the pain of their shared loss. Empowered and focused, Eric returns to the mortal world, determined to end Vincent's reign of terror. One by one, he mercilessly hunts down Vincent's henchmen, leaving a trail of death and destruction in his wake. Each kill brings him closer to Vincent. A message on the phone of one of Vincent's men leads Eric to Vincent's assistant Marion at a cinema. Eric puts some black paint under his eyes and leaves for the cinema. There at the cinema, he kills all the guards through his sword. Seeing Eric has reached cinema, Marion informs his boss Vincent that Eric has reached, and now her own life is endangered too. Soon Eric reaches to her, and despite of so many attempts to kill him by her guard, Eric stands there immortal. Eric kills the guard and reaches Marion, who refuses to tell anything about Vincent whereabouts. Eric kills her and then goes to Master Vincent's house. In a final confrontation, Eric and Vincent face off. Vincent was sitting comfortably in front of mirror, combing his hair. Eric places his sword at Vincent's neck and asks him the reason of killing Shelly. Vincent manipulates him through his words, and making Eric reflect on Vincent, armed with dark magic and cunning, nearly defeats Eric by reciting mantra in his ear and stabs him. Vincent tries to make demonic blood pact with injured Eric. Eric was getting weak and was losing, but Eric's resolve, fueled by the memories of his childhood pain of Horse's agony, the love he shared with Shelly, and the countless lives Vincent has destroyed, gives him the strength to prevail. Their battle spills out from Vincent's window into the mystical realm, where the lines between life and death blur once again. In a climactic moment, Eric drags Vincent into the black waters. He beats Vincent to near death, then drowning him in the void. As Vincent sinks, his immortality strips away. After Vincent's death, Shelly's body rises from the depths, resurrected and whole once more. They both hug each other. The two lovers are reunited, but their reunion is bittersweet. As per the deal with Kronos, only Shelly can return to the real world. Eric must remain in the mist, Cal realm, his sacrifice ensuring her safety. In the aftermath, Shelly awakens in the real world, her heart heavy with the knowledge of Eric's sacrifice. Though they are separated by the veil of life and death, she knows that one day their souls will reunite. Eric, now a guardian of the mystical realm, watches over Shelly from afar. Though their love is eternal, it is also marked by the pain of separation. But in the end, they find solace in the knowledge that love transcends even death itself.